just overlook me. Yeah, the things don't pan out, keep it cooking. You're not a fan, but you keep on looking. Look, don't be concerned with what people saying. Be concerned when they don't care to say it. Funny how people will act like they know you, but they don't even got a clue what they're saying.
Yeehaw, soldiers! It's your boy Anime Sage coming at you with another video. And this is What If Ichigo Had the Sharingan, Part 3. You all have been waiting for this, so you guys get it. I have an announcement as well. What If Kakashi Adopted Naruto Part 11 is going to be on Friday. Yes, you heard it, Friday. What If Kushina and Makoto Were Sisters Part 5 will be moved to next week. Also, I am in the process of making What If Deku Had a Quirk Part 4 since you guys hit the like goal, which was at 100. So stay tuned for that. That is what's coming out for this week and next week potentially. So my schedule is finalized for this week, and it's potentially almost there for next week. Yay! I also have a secret vid coming soon, which people on my Discord server know about. I think you all will really like it when it drops. There are also a couple of other projects I'm working on, so stay tuned for when those drop. Anyways, make sure to watch my community tab. I post polls there every day. Some related to what if, some related to gauging your opinions on things, such as food, I guess, based on my most recent polls. Also, make sure to check out my most recent podcast episode. We talked about some interesting stuff on there. Alright, quick social media plugs, I guess. Follow me on Twitter, at AnimeSage4. It is a good way for you guys to interact with me since I am pretty active on Twitter, and since I do tweet a lot. And actually another way for you guys to get notified for my videos, since I tweet them out after I publish them. So please follow me on there. Instagram is anime_sage4. I post regularly on Instagram, and it's another good way for you guys to interact with me. So please follow me on there. Finally, join my Discord server. If you join my Discord server, you get sneak peeks of supplementary projects. That's good. Notifications for when I live stream ahead of time. Yeah, that's pretty good as well. And you can suggest to me what if ideas directly, or characters you want me to analyze eventually in the future, and discuss some moments in anime and stuff like that. So please join my server. Alright, now for the usual checklist. If you haven't seen the last part, link is in the description. If you haven't seen this series at all, check out the playlist. With all out of the way, let's get right into the story. Alright, so let's now get into the first meeting with one of our favorite Quincy's, Uryu Ishida. Ichigo and Rukia, like the neutral canon, will notice that hollows are being killed mysteriously by somebody. Ichigo, who at this point is used to killing hollows, will want to figure out who is killing all these hollows. But, you know, there's, like, not as much urgency, you know what I'm saying, but because of Ichigo, but, you know, that's fine. Of course, we now get into Uryu. We have people talk about Uryu, and when we see the people with their grades and stuff like that, and Ichigo learns who he is for the first time. Ichigo and Rukia try to find a hollow one last time, is destroyed by Uryu, and Uryu will make himself known. Ichigo, throughout the interaction, flares his Sharingan at Ishida. Ishida will make his, well, I guess, opinions very well known, but is also amazed at seeing the red eyes up close. He says, "So, those are your famous red eyes that seem to give you a power boost of some sort and seem to allow you to control hollows. I have known about these eyes for quite a bit of time, but seeing them up close is a sight to behold." Ryu then finishes with, "It doesn't matter how strong those eyes are. You will still lose to me, Soul Reaper. I will make you obsolete." Ryu then leaves. Ichigo and Rukia have now been challenged, especially Ichigo. Ichigo will later go to his second interaction with Uryu, of course, and they have another bit of a conversation. Uryu will still mock Ichigo for his lack of attention to sword and stuff like that, and of course, Ichigo will get mad about it. Uryu will then do the challenge that Ichigo will be forced to take, which is he's going to summon all the hollows like it did in canon, and will challenge Ichigo like he did in canon. Whoever kills the most hollows wins. Uryu comments on who will win. That is the question. An inexperienced substitute Soul Reaper with very unique eyes, and there could be more to the power of those eyes than meets the eye at the moment, or versus him, a Quincy. So yeah, that should be pretty fun. It should be like, are you crazy? But no, at this point there's no turn back now. So Uryu starts his hollow hunting while Ichigo transforms into Soul Reaper form. Ichigo, with Sharingan eyes ablazing, starts killing hollows left and right, and will actually do quite a bit better than the original canon since he now has Sharingan eyes. I'll say he's able to go for the hollows a bit more quickly, so that's a plus for Ichigo, I guess. It's not going to be fun when the Menos Grande comes through that little hollow portal and tries to destroy all of Karakura, but still, it's a positive. Or Hime and Chad will get their powers unlocked here like in neutral canon, so that's pretty good. That's a really good positive. Time for everything to go wrong for Uryu. Uryu realizes something is really wrong here, and so he has to kind of make up for his little mishap, I guess. Ichigo will learn all about the Quincy's and will sympathize with Ishida a little bit. Ichigo will go to Uryu, and Uryu will explain why he hates Soul Reapers so much. Not because of the fact that Soul Reapers wipe nearly all the Quincy's out, which we all realize he kind of sympathizes with them a bit on that front, but because of the fact that they let his master die. Ichigo will give his speech to Ishida like in canon, and they'll both end up fighting all the hollows again, but this time together. Then the Menos Grande will appear and will try to destroy everything. Uryu and Ichigo will try to come up with a similar plan like in canon, but of course Ichigo will not go with that plan, and then Ichigo will just march straight towards the Menos Grande, with his Sharingan eyes ablazing. And yeah, everyone at this point is wondering, is Ichigo crazy or stupid or whatever? You know, like, I think any normal person in that situation would, I guess. But then Ichigo, with his Sharingan eyes ablazing, will be in that similar beam to sword struggle, or I guess the Sero beam or whatever it was called. And then Uryu will come to the same revelation like in canon about Ichigo's power and potential, and Ichigo unleashes all of his untapped potential, or power at this point, and slices and dices the Menos Grande. If you look very closely, you can see a free Tomoe Sharingan that has been unlocked by Ichigo, or has it. So, quick explanation here. Ichigo has tapped into the next stage of the Sharingan, but cannot fully control it yet. When he unleashed all the power, however, he reached the next stage of the Sharingan. However, he cannot use it yet unless he does something like that again. So essentially, he would have to have all this like spirit energy like unleashed all at once again, which could happen, but maybe not. Who knows? Or he'd have to have something very heartbreaking or heartwarming happen. So, for example, like remember the last part, I gave Ichigo unlocked the second Tomoe Sharingan when Ichigo was able to see his mother again and was actually able to say goodbye to her. Now, it could also be heartbreaking, or Ichigo had to go through some pain or stress that could probably like very severe and, you know, not fun, you know what I'm saying? So maybe if he was very close to turning into a hollow at a certain point, maybe he could unlock it then. Anyways, Ichigo's show of strength leaves everybody, including Rukia, amazed at his power. Don't forget, she was in a bit of a bakudo by my boy Kisuke. Kisuke is even more amazed by Ichigo as well as his workers, and of course, Chad and my girl Orihime. Ichigo will almost have his body destroyed like in canon, but Uryu will save him, so, you know, he's fine. I mean, all it cost was Uryu's hands, which were injured after that, but, you know, he's fine. Okay, let's get into the fight with Renji and Byakuga. Rukia, like in her canon, feels like she doesn't belong in the human world. She's thankful she met Ichigo and believes he could be a very powerful Soul Reaper, especially with the Sharingan eyes, but feels like she doesn't belong in Karakura anymore, and wants to go back to Soul Society. She leaves the same letter, and decides to start her journey back to the Soul Society. Of course, Renji and Byakuga will appear. Uryu will try to protect Rukia like in her canon, so that's pretty cool, but what's not cool is that Uryu gets blitzed by Renji. Yikes. Ichigo will then appear, and we get a new battle between Ichigo and Renji. Renji will be very curious about the red eyes with the two Tomoes, you know what I'm saying? While at the same time, being very cautious. Renji will ask Ichigo what is up with his eyes, and Ichigo will explain that he got it when he got his Soul Reaper powers. Renji now wants to fight Ichigo, not just because he's mad at him for taking Rukia's powers, but also because he wants to fight Ichigo, and see what he's made of, especially those eyes. Ichigo and Renji will battle each other, and will be about even with the clash with their swords, because Renji is weaker here due to him being in the human world, and Ichigo is able to track his sword moves here with his two Tomoe Sharingan. Renji is actually impressed, and Ichigo is blocking all of his strikes, and he's doing a really good job at it, especially for a substitute Soul Reaper. However, Renji then uses Zanpakuto, calls upon Zabimaru, and strikes Ichigo like in canon. However, just like in canon, guess what? He taps into a bit of something that we're going to fully see later when he fights Byakuga in the Soul Society arc. Hint. Hint. Ichigo then has the advantage over Renji here, with his two Tomoe Sharingan eyes ablazing, and is in the position like he was in the original canon. Just with a higher advantage because he has a Sharingan here. He goes for a final sword strike like in canon, and then Byakuga slices his Zanpakuto off. Ichigo sees it was Byakuga when he sees the blade part of the Zanpakuto in his hand, and sees about to make a move. However, Ichigo will not be able to see what's coming, as Byakuga slices and dices Ichigo like he did in the original canon, and Ichigo's Sharingan eyes disappear. Or he somewhat sees it coming, but cannot stop it because he cannot react to it. Kind of like Sasuke when he versed Rock Lee. Ichigo will do the same actions like Naruto can, which is grabbing onto Byakugo's robe, but Rukia will stop him. She turns herself in and makes the same sacrifice like she did in Canon. We talk about the same stuff like Naruto can with arm-assisted Sharingan eyes, of course, but it's relatively the same moment that was very both, well, heartwarming and heartbreaking to watch, in my opinion, when I first watched that. This will prompt Ichigo to, of course, feel sadness because he kind of failed again. He failed to protect his mother, and now he failed to protect Rukia. He probably would have unlocked the third Tomoe Sharingan here, but Byakugo kind of severed everything. Ichigo will be healed like Naruto Cannon, and will go on to his quest to get his powers back. Ichigo will go for the same stuff like Naruto Cannon, but there's a slight difference here. When Ichigo has to go for the hollow trial, you know, if his soul chain disappears fully, he becomes hollowified. He still gets a hollow mask, but when he takes off the hollow mask, he reveals a free Tomoe Sharingan in both of his eyes. Let's just say when he went for that trial, he was able to get the first Tomoe for Sharingan eyes. Because of all the stress and pain he went through becoming a hollow, or potentially being hollowified, and was able to unlock the first Tomoe. So Kiyusuke is pretty excited because Ichigo just got this new power, and of course will train Ichigo like he can, but it's also mostly going to involve how his third Tomoe works. What did Ichigo gain from getting that first Tomoe? Now, I think you are wondering how the Soul Society arc would go. Well, I got bad news for you guys. You're gonna have to wait for the next part. Okay, thank you all for watching part 3 of What If Ichigo Got the Sharingan. This one was fun for me to write, and it should be interesting when I write the Soul Society arc. Now, remember on Friday, y'all are going to get What If Kakashi Adopted Naruto part 11, so stay tuned for that. Also, stay tuned for whenever What If Deku Had a Quirk part 4 comes out, because I have to make that at this point, because you guys have to like it, so, you know, it should be fun when that comes out. Remember, I'm also making a secret video to let people on my server know about, so you guys should stay tuned for that, but I think you guys are going to really like it. Also stay tuned for the other projects that I'm working on. They should be pretty fun. And remember, What If Kushina and Makoto were sisters? It's coming back next week, so get hyped. Make sure to watch my community tab so you can vote on stuff, be it what if ideas or, I guess, fun polls based on food at this point, I guess. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and join my Discord server. Friendly reminder right there, guys. That is all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and of course, share the video. This has been your boy, the Anime Sage. Sign out. Peace. Yort. Ha. Bye-bye.